Hello, folks. My name's John Gray. Welcome to Just Plain Living. And Miss
Peggy Burton.
Peggy
Good
Burton
morning.
right here next to me.
And
I'm Lauren Foster.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
Yeah, they tried to trick us, but they didn't.
they didn't. It didn't work out, did it?
It wouldn't matter. We're
Are you still trying to get rid of the cats and the credits?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And their names are?
I'm so attached to them. Their names are Romeo and Achilles.
So if
Because
anybody
one's a
needs
lover
them.
and one's a fighter.
Oh, okay.
Romeo
they
and
males?
Achilles.
I believe they are males. I can't
Not
assess the
positive,
sex
but-
of a kitten with any confidence, but I'm pretty sure that they're males.
And do you want to tell them your phone number?
Oh,
Somebody wants to
yes.
get those kittens?
No.
Tell
my
them to call
email
the
address.
studio.
Okay, call the studio.
Philip, do you still? Yeah, call the studio.
There you go.
393-0081.
Yeah.
And there's two kittens.
Because Lauren doesn't want to give out her telephone number because you might call for something other than a kitten.
That's right. That's
They might
right.
want you, Lauren.
Or they might not, and then my ego would be disturbed.
Obviously, there's some issue, and we won't go into the specific details of it, but there's some issue of determining the sex of a cat, isn't there?
Well, it's just difficult.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not
Like I
sure.
said,
unfamiliar anatomy to me.
You
There
don't
you
have
go.
to, go into the specifics, but
They look kind of alike, females and males as kittens, and
Yeah.
the times I've guessed before, I've gotten it wrong. So
I had a cat. I was in the front yard at my office one morning, and I had a cat came up, and it was a beautiful cat, huge, and had really long fur. And I thought it was a male, but it stayed around there for about 2 weeks. I tried to put it on television. I did put it on television. Nobody claimed it. Because I found out it was some kind of it was called a Maine Coon. That's what-
oh
my
and
gosh.
so it was like it kind of looked like a coon. you
Yeah,
know?
they're pretty
Fancy
cool
cat.
cats.
So,
To some extent.
did you get rid of it?
Well,
Not after it had a litter of kittens, right?
no, it didn't. It didn't have a litter of kittens. But a friend of mine, called me up and said, "Did you ever find anybody to take that cat?" And I said, "No." And so, what would you take for it? And I had no idea that they were worth anything.
Ah, you are just the most naive grown-up I've ever seen.
Anyway, she came and got the cat. Turned out it was a female, but it had already been neutered or spayed with a spade, and had its shots. And we don't know why nobody ever claimed it, but the cat was worth several $100s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of a rare breed.
Good grief, you should have
part of
opened the
it.
cat house.
That's true. I always wanted to do
You
that.
always wanted to open a cat house, didn't you?
What did Chester think about the cat?
Chester the Crow.
Yeah.
Chester did not like cats, period.
Where'd you get Chester?
Well,
he's a crow. He just showed up, right?
let's start this by saying, folks, Jim Fuller is one of the kindest people in the world you will ever meet, genuinely kind. He has crows at his office who he and Pam Spencer have fed for years, I guess, and they even follow him home. And you don't realize, you need to look up on the internet how smart crows really are. They're some of the smartest things other than us.
Yeah, they're like
very, very bright.
next to
Consider
primates,
us.
I guess. They're like third, humans and monkeys and stuff.
And then crows?
Second, and then crows. Yeah, they're
And then
very
there's
smart.
dolphins in there. There's some
I
of the
was watching
fish are
a
very
guy
bright.
that had a pigeon on some children's show, and they took him way, way off in a covered basket, turned him loose, and fixed a timer so that the pigeon couldn't see them leave. So they had a timer so it would open the cage at about 30 minutes after they left. Well, they drive and drive and drive and drive back home, and here comes a pigeon. Isn't that amazing?
Well, we found Chester
that's amazing.
as a baby, kind of. He was injured or something, and he was walking around.
What made you call him Chester? Because he was
he,
crippled?
Yeah, because he was crippled. He finally got okay, but I started feeding him, and he realized, he come to realize I must be his buddy.
Right.
So,
He imprinted on you,
yeah.
like a baby duckling.
So as he got older, he got to where he would walk up to the front of the house and front of the office, and he would holler because he wanted food.
Wanting food.
Yeah.
What'd he holler?
Corn? Corn?
Oh, what'd he say?
They feed him. They
Well,
feed him.
I don't know what he said, but anyway,
Deluxe
the
peanuts.
next year, his parents had some more baby crows, and had one anyway. And then so he taught the other baby that if they came up there to the door of the office, that we'd give them
Deluxe
peanuts. You know, of course they'll eat anything.
That's
You know,
interesting.
they'll eat scraps
I didn't
or
really know that
whatever.
about
So,
crows.
Oh yeah.
We're going to call you
so
Jimmy
now,
Doolittle.
right now, there's about 6 or 7 of them up there. Usually they'll leave, but
I love
there's
it.
2 of
I
them that
do.
never
I love
leave.
it,
though.
yeah.
But tell them that this is a funny story because Jimmy lives, I guess maybe a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile from your office to
No,
the house.
it's probably about a mile.
Mile.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Jimmy was painting his fence
Right.
one week. He and Nancy were painting the fence, and
And the crows came. And
well, Jimmy said there was a crow over there at his house, and what happened?
Well, there was a crow over there. Of course, you can't tell one from the other, you know.
Aw, now come on, your own crow.
But there was a crow.
Well, it was
sitting
an
there-
old crow.
Yeah, the crow was sitting on the fence, hollered, you know, and I didn't think anything about it. But when I got back to the office, one of my crows that was hanging out of the office, he flew down to get some peanuts and had white paint all over it.
so your crow had followed you
Apparently.
home. I love it.
Apparently.
Followed Jimmy home.
Great.
Yeah.
Knows the vehicle. What was that? Gertrude and Heathcliff. They spotted him. That's how.
how they-
What was that? Red Skelton
Yeah,
used to
I
do
think so.
Gertrude and Heathcliff,
Yeah.
the seagulls.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they spotted the top of Jimmy's car, and they could follow the spot.
Oh, I wanted to remind everybody if they haven't got a ticket for Jason Petty, if they're watching this on Tuesday night, we have Jason
Or
Petty.
Thursday morning.
Or Thursday morning, and Carolyn Martin, that's going to be at South Jackson Civic Center
Thursday night.
at 7:30 doing Patsy Cline and Hank Williams.
Yeah, big deal.
gonna be a great show.
Great show. Very talented.
Hope people will show up. We
Very,
have some
very
nice
talented.
people on the show today. I have a real good friend of mine, Frances Worthington. She's going to talk about the museum in Manchester.
Good.
Good.
And
Miss Judy Skelton from, I almost called her Smith. Her daughter's name is Smith. That's not how it goes. Miss Skelton is going to be here to talk about the art sale for the Tullahoma Women's Club this
Good.
weekend.
big yard
Good
sale.
fundraiser.
And I hope we have weather like we did this weekend.
I think we're going to get a little
It's
colder
been
every
so
day.
beautiful.
Yes. Well, we're going to have a little rain, and then once the rain comes through, they say it's going to get down in the 50s and 30s.
I dread it.
Just a little bit of
I
thing.
do. I like it
Hey.
just like it is with the colors in the trees.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It was a great
It
weekend.
was.
Oh, it was a wonderful weekend. Tullahoma Wildcats are playing
Warren County.
Warren County,
County.
this coming Friday night at home. So that'll be a good deal to go see that, and just all kinds of good things happening around here.
There's always something to do.
Always something
Good
to
game Friday night between Bedford, Shelbyville and
Tullahoma,
And
yeah.
Tullahoma. It was a really good game. Both those teams are going to be in the playoffs.
Right,
Both of them are
right.
6-2, and not likely to lose in the last two outings. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. Well, there's something I want to bring up right now, and we lost one of our good friends yesterday, Mr. Tommy Allen.
Yes, we did.
And Tommy's been a great part of this community, and Tommy's been with us on this show on and off many times. I just think we want to dedicate this show this week to Tommy Allen and his memory, and we give our best wishes and our prayers and hopes to his family, and that they get through this all right. Tommy had so much to do. I wish he could have been well for the celebration of Wade Field that's coming up the end of this month,
would've been
because
nice.
Tommy was a football coach and a historian, and he had so many pictures and things that he had done, and he coached football over there and on Wade Field, and probably played on Wade Field
I bet he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
at some point, and just a really good guy. And Tommy, you'll be missed. We want you to know that. And when Bob Couch started doing the Millennium Moment, and then Bob got sick, whenever Bob couldn't be here, Tommy would
took
come and
over.
bring his history.
he did a great job.
And the one thing I know for sure that makes me feel real good is that Tommy's passed, and that means if I ever am lucky enough to get to heaven, I know there'll already be somebody there with a tropical shirt on. And I won't be the only one up there wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Hawaiian Florida shirt.
There you go.
We miss you, Tommy.
We miss you, Tommy. And folks, we're going to show you just a little bit of Mr. Tommy right here, and then we'll be back and move on into our show.
I guess it's about time that I said my usual thing, and Mr. Couch started this. This is not the end of the story. There's a lot more to tell.
Why Traders Bank?
The convenience of 5 locations near you.
2695 Deckard Boulevard, Winchester. 1207 Hillsborough Boulevard, Manchester. 1602 North Main Street, Shelbyville. 412 West Lincoln Street, Tullahoma. 120 North Jackson Street, Tullahoma. Why Traders Bank?
The service of 61 friendly, knowledgeable employees meeting your banking needs.
We're Traders Bank in Winchester. Come see us. We're Traders Bank in Manchester. Come see us. We're Traders Bank in Shelbyville. Come see us. We're Traders Bank on West Lincoln Street in Tullahoma. Come see us. We're Traders Bank. Come see us.
Why Traders Bank?
The stability of 122 years, locally owned and operated, banking under the same name.
Traders Bank.
Why Traders Bank? Because you're welcome here.
Traders Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Welcome back. I'm so glad you stayed around. I have my good friend Judy Worthington on the set. Hey, Judy.
Hello, Peggy.
We graduated
My pleasure.
from high school last year, didn't we?
We did, yes.
We did graduate together some years ago. And,
Absolutely.
And life goes on.
It
and I
does
am so
indeed.
excited about what you do. Judy is here representing the museum in Manchester. It's Arrowheads to Aerospace. Do I have that right? And it's called Tullahoma Manchester Museum too?
We're actually chartered as the Coffee County Manchester Tullahoma Museum Incorporated,
which is a nice long
C3
yes.
nonprofit.
How long have you been with it?
25 years. We've been chartered 25, and I was there in the beginning.
And you have been the executive director all this time, correct?
Yes, more or less.
And I know what that means.
The floor sweeper and the bottle washer.
I know. I was going to say. I know exactly what that means. That you can do it all. And by the way, I would guess you like volunteers anytime you can get them. Is that right?
Anytime we can get volunteers, we love volunteers, and we say please and thank you, and when's your birthday, and Christmas is coming.
And what time are you open?
We're open normally Monday through Thursday, 10 until 2, and then Saturdays, 10 until 2. But we do special train runs, second Saturdays.
Let's talk about your little train.
Well, this little train.
When you say train runs, you're talking about
trains that you can ride outside.
Okay.
These are live steam model trains, and the engines.
And you have those over there at the museum?
We do indeed.
How cool is that?
The museum owns one that's called the Aerospace Special.
Put the train back. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
We're going to look at the train.
inside the museum, we have these kind of trains.
That goes around the whole area. I've seen that.
That's right. They're O gauge or O27. We also have G gauge. We have about 10 sets that run for all the tours.
I love that.
This little train uses a smoke tablet.
Oh, it actually puts out smoke? Is that what happens?
Yes, you can actually put smoke, that little tablet in there.
Okay, there we go. There's your train.
There we are. Those are the G gauge.
And I brought my grandson to see that. He absolutely loved all this.
Oh, we have Thomas. Thomas just runs and runs on that set. Thomas also runs on the other set. Here we have the Hermitage.
That was the Hermitage.
This is the Hermitage, just as
And that's
Andrew
a beautiful
Jackson's.
model. Who did that? Do you know?
Arlie Hafner from here in Tullahoma.
That is
He's
wonderful.
the father of Charlotte Hathaway. And there is World War I.
Oh my.
There is the machine gun that is famous. It's like the ones that Sergeant York, the movie.
Oh yeah.
He actually captured guns like that. And then you see lots of other World War I memorabilia.
What a great collection.
And here is World War II. Did you realize George Patton was stationed here?
I did know George Patton was stationed here because Bob Couch has talked about it.
Okay, and we were one part of there in Manchester. He was headquartered for over 800,000 troops to be trained, a total of 1.5 million, including Camp Forrest and the other operations.
1.5 million during the whole run of
World War
II.
Not only that, but Vanderbilt University set up a field site here.
Oh, did they really?
They trained medics and they trained Corps nursing. And the nurses published a book after the fact. We've also had a new book published about In the Presence of Soldiers. You've had Woody McMillan here do a couple of shows. And we've had him. We have the books in Manchester. Here we have an apothecary. This is
that an original?
It is
from Manchester?
Yes, that is the first
That's
drugstore.
Awesome.
Manchester had a medicine manufacturing company at one time. We could have been famous like Chattanooga.
Sure. That's
had we
great.
kept that
You
going.
have a tremendous amount of artifacts that I am so impressed.
We have vintage clothing that is just out of this world. That dark garment that you're seeing there is an 1899 maternity dress.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful condition. The top, the Bolero top that you see there is from the 1800s.
Kind of typical of that period because they hid themselves more than they do these days.
Yes, definitely. Yes,
and I see some quilts.
Lovely
some
quilts.
Beautiful work.
Our
a spinning
oldest,
wheel.
Yes, our oldest quilt that we know of is pre-1850.
Wow. So that's before the Civil War.
Several of our quilts are dated 1862, 1861, 1864. We have a button also that is from the Civil War that a woman had on her dress and she didn't die.
And she had
she had these
War
three.
button.
We have several Civil War buttons, the war buttons.
Yeah.
But this was a very special button.
You obviously do educational programs there, and if a person wants to set up a time to come in, they just call the music. What's the number there?
Our number is, of course, 931-723-1323.
1323, 723-1323. So if you wanted to set up a time to bring your class,
absolutely,
what a wonderful opportunity.
We also go out to the schools and do programs. We do a lot with homeschoolers. We also do programs and projects individually with students who are trying to complete an assignment with either history or at the university.
Great. We need to talk about these buttons.
Okay.
I am fascinated by these
buttons. You saw the maternity
buttons.
dress. Now you see a vest from that era, that time period. We go into a lot of history of costumes.
Now all those buttons around there, they came from that period?
Those are little vest buttons. And more than likely, those came from men's vests because us women weren't allowed to wear pretty buttons.
How tacky is that? I can't believe that. That just turns me totally off. I've got to show this one. This one has musical things. Do I have it upside down?
There you go.
Look at that. This is so neat.
We have horn, and of course porcelains and metals, and there's Peggy's group right here with the orchestra. There she is
performing.
All kinds of
stuff. Yeah.
And she can also toot a horn.
There you go. Saxophones that go with the band, guitars. That is so cool. And I know you did one for Halloween.
That's our next holiday. So of course we have witches and goblins and pumpkins.
And then I noticed, I think these are fascinating because these are brass
Yes.
buttons. And what do they
and
signify?
those are signifying the different railroads because they do have the railroad.
Let me show this real quick.
Okay.
You know, they've given us the X. You're going to have to come back.
Okay.
We've just got started here. This is where is this picture?
This is Cowan. That is the tunnel that goes across going from Nashville to Chattanooga, from Tullahoma to Chattanooga.
Judy, I can't believe how much you've got going on over there in Manchester, and people need to go and share this wonderful thing that you're doing.
Arrowhead Aerospace Museum, 24 Campground Road.
24 Campground Road. I was going to ask that. Thanks for coming.
Surely.
I love
thank
you.
Love you
Take
too,
care.
sweetheart.
We'll be back.
I'm Lori Thompson.
And I'm Mike Thompson, and we own Thompson Ford in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Lori and I bought the dealership back. It's on Highway 55. Same dealership that we had for 10 years. Look forward to serving you for another 10. Thank you to the community. Thank you for allowing us to be here for the last 15 years. Thank you for having us raise our family here.
Thank you for all your support.
It's been a great place. It's a great place to live. Look forward to living here. Put me in the ground here. I'd be proud to do it. God bless America and God bless Tennessee.
Our office used to look like this, but now with My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right?
My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young. It's that easy.
Wherever good can overcome, that is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm Lauren Foster, and I always get everything that has to do with animals. Our producer, Julia, always gives me the animal things, and you're with Horseplay.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us. Tell me your names
Thank
again
you.
real quick.
Patsy Freeman.
Patsy Freeman, are you losing your voice?
No, I have a paralyzed vocal cord, so I don't have much voice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Joanne Halcomb.
Well, thank you so much for being
Thanks
with
for
us.
having us.
So tell us what Horseplay is.
Go ahead.
Well,
it's a disabled riding program for children.
Okay.
We serve Franklin, Moore, and Coffee counties. And this is our 14th program year.
Where are you located?
We have land that is about 9/10 of a mile out 130 past the Tullahoma Funeral Home on the left.
Okay.
And our goal, of course, is to one day build a facility that is covered and enclosed to some extent so we can work in inclement weather as well as, you know, the nice hot, well, not the hot weather, but, you know.
So is it just for children?
Yes.
Okay.
As we serve children from age 4 to age 18. They can be referred by parents, grandparents, their doctor, a friend. And we have children with assorted disabilities, physical and mental disabilities. So we have a large population of children that are autistic or high-functioning Asperger's. We also have children with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, children with hearing loss, children with undiagnosed difficulties. And what we do is we work with their pediatrician and a pediatrician who is has been on our board of directors in the past and is now just a friend of the board, who meets with us, as well as a physical therapist and our instructor who has been specially trained. And we come up with games that, well, the children think they're games, but they're actually cleverly disguised exercises to work on issues that they may have, like reaching off center or strengthening their core where they're, you know, spread on a horse and they're waddling along, and they think it's great fun, but they're actually having to sit upright and they're working all those core muscles to do that.
Excellent. So you're tricking the children into thinking they're having fun, but in the meantime providing really important rehabilitation for a variety of issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had one child that was in a wheelchair. Well, when you sit in a wheelchair with your legs together and you can't walk, these muscles kind of get tight. Well, when we first put him in a horse, it hurt. It was just, he could just barely stretch his legs. I think he was in the program 2 or 3 years. But when he finished, he could just put those legs on both sides of the horse. So you know, it loosened those muscles.
The warmth of the horse's body and the fact that we don't usually use a saddle, we just use a saddle pad, so they get that warmth. And then as they move, they relax those muscles and they actually stretch. And our physical therapist told me at one time that the only thing she could do that would be closely resemble this would be to sit with a child on one of those giant exercise balls and try to get his legs to relax, and it's called abduct his muscles to stretch that. And of course the movement of the horse closely resembles walking, so they use the muscles that we use in walking because their hips go back and forth, forward and backwards, side to side, like we do when we walk. So they're exercising those muscles so that if they ever do have mobility, they have some muscular strength to get started on that. And we actually have a little boy who when he first came to us, he had no core strength whatsoever, and he was just 4 years old, curled up like this, and the effort was to get him to hold his head up. And he's now 10, and he holds his head up, and you can imagine it's quite a bit difficult on a bobbing horse. But he also can sit erect in his wheelchair, which is the big thing, so he can engage the world around him, whether he's ever able to walk or not. So that's great.
So are you ever able to, let's provide a phone number for the remainder of our segment so that people can write that down.
Well, we have a big fundraising luncheon coming up a week from this coming Friday, the 28th of October. And all of our activities are at no cost to the children. So we rely on donations and our generous communities to support us, and this is, as I said, our biggest fundraiser, and it's held at the First United Methodist Church here in Tullahoma at the Family Activity Center. But obviously all are invited. We have a hot meal of turkey and ham from 11 a.m. till 1:30 p.m. and we have takeout available, and I have a takeout phone number, and I have 2 tickets for you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And the takeout phone number, if you would read it, is right there on there. It's 841-3109. 841-3109, and you can call and place your order, and we'll fill it, and you can just come pick up, or you can go through the line yourself and take it home.
And when she says we've got turkey and ham, she failed to say what I went with it.
That's right.
Dressing, sweet potatoes, salad, congealed salads. Desserts are unbelievable.
Awesome. Now, okay, tell me again where this is. It's at the
First United Methodist Church,
which is at 210 West Lauderdale Street.
Right, across from the post office.
And you do want reservations?
No reservations. Show up. We're happy to have you.
All right, awesome. But if you want more information, or if you wanted to make a donation or provide any kind of support to this great organization called Horseplay, that's the number that you can call. And now, the children that you treat, is this free, or is it based on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's totally free.
Everything is run on donations.
Absolutely.
Now, what about the horses? We were talking before the show that there are horses that are just abandoned and people can't feed them.
Well, we don't take in horses.
Okay.
But our horses are just about bomb-proof. You can imagine.
Right.
If you put a child that's disabled on a horse, it's got to be pretty steady.
Very well-trained horse.
And so we work with the horses. We've got a trainer, and these are great horses.
Okay, now wait, I want to ask just one quick question. We talked about physical disabilities and the rehabilitation in that way. What about the mental therapy for?
the relationship the child, you probably have witnessed the relationship that children have with animals.
Right.
And horses are very sentient beings. They seem to know feelings. They recognize feelings. And we try over the years to put the child with the same horse if possible, if the horse can bear them as they get bigger. And they develop quite a relationship. And one mom told me that the first word her son said was the name of his horse.
That's just wonderful.
Which just breaks your heart.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
So,
okay, be sure to go by the First United Methodist Church this Saturday to support this great organization,
Friday.
Horseplay. Oh, Friday, sorry.
Friday the 28th.
Friday the 28th. Thank y'all so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, and stay with us. We'll be back with more Just Plain Living after this.
There's one place women of all ages can find the care they need. The Women's Center at Harton Regional Medical Center. We're a full-service women's center with comprehensive obstetrical and gynecological surgery. Our excellent customer satisfaction rate is a reflection of our commitment to excellence. To serve you even better, we've now remodeled our facility. Our family-friendly birth center features private labor, delivery, and recovery suites. For every stage of your life, we're there for you. The Women's Center at Harton Regional Medical Center.
Get Tullahoma's news first, fast, and free with Tullahoma's News Leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Jimmy and Jenny bring you local weather, sports, community calendar events, birth announcements, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Tullahoma's News, get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Cutting Edge Outdoors is for the everyday hunter.
No huge Midwest or fancy game farms on this show.
They got mud in their veins, grit in their jaw.
For local boys hunting local farms just like you.
Cutting Edge.
This is Cutting Edge Outdoors. Ain't nothing safe.
Ain't nothing safe.
Pedal to the metal, boy, it's open season.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All right, folks, we are getting ready to have some fun here. And, you know, my next guest and her friend, who we will introduce you to momentarily, asked me, well, when are you going to do one of your stupid commercials? You mean you're not going to do one of your stupid commercials while I'm here? Well, here you go. Attic Outlet is the place to be. You can get your stuff there for free. Take it over and they'll sort for you. Attic Outlet's the place for you. Judy.
Linda.
Judy. Linda. Robin.
Right.
What do you know?
Right.
Linda.
Yes, sir.
See what you've done to me?
Just
now I'm a real fool, but that's all right. I'm a fool for you.
Oh, thanks.
Tell me what you're doing. I know one thing you're doing. One thing Attic Outlet does every year that we've always been involved with and been very proud to be involved with is the Postal Food Drive.
Exactly. We have two during the year, one in the spring and then one in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
In the fall, the postal carriers bring it to the Attic Outlet. We sort it out, and then it's divided between 4 pantries here in town, that being, of course, the Attic Outlet, First Christian Church, Good Samaritan, and Wesley Heights United Methodist Church. So we will, we're just urging everyone, of course, we know this is hard economic times right now, but all of our pantries are low and we need them, the food, to fill those pantries up. We're getting into the holiday season, believe it or not. and we're going to need to be giving out more food, and all of us are getting more requests for food. So we ask that you give generously, and be sure to remember that we're providing this food for those that have nothing. So be sure that the items that you give are good staple groceries, like all your canned beans and vegetables and this kind of thing, canned meats, salmon, tuna, beef stew, flour, sugar, the staples. Peanut butter is always good.
What about paper products? That's not something you're looking for right now?
That's not really, no. We need the food, actually.
Food.
Yes.
Food. And I guarantee you, folks, there have been times that you have said, well, I'm going to have so-and-so's going to come over this weekend and we're going to fix a meal, and you go and you buy cans of stuff and you end up using half of what you bought, and it's in the pantry, and all of a sudden you can look back there, and I guarantee you've got stuff back there that's probably been there for 2 or 3 years. It's extra. If you hadn't used it in 2 or 3 years, give it to somebody that needs it.
But be sure the expiration date hasn't expired.
Expiration date doesn't expire on canned food.
Oh, yes, it does. You look on your canned goods, and there's an expiration date on them.
You know what? When I was in the Army, I ate some canned eggs that were 25 years old.
Well, but you've got
it's good enough for the military. It's good enough.
I agree, but there are expiration dates on it.
There are. Okay. Got a can of sauerkraut you don't want? Hang it on your. Now, what they do is hang this on their mailbox on Friday this week and Saturday this week, right?
Or they can put it inside the box. Just be sure they don't put it on the ground, because that would mean the carrier would have to get out
of the vehicle.
And that's just extra work on them. So be sure you either hang it on the box or put it inside.
Okay. So we got that. We're giving food this week, this Friday and Saturday. It's the Postal Food Drive, and the Attic Outlet is involved with that. And Linda is here also for another reason, and that is an announcement and introduction she has to make about the lovely young lady sitting next to her.
This is Robin Mullins. She is going to be stepping in as director at the Attic Outlet come the first of the year. I'm going to take a seat back and retire and stay at home a little bit, but I've already promised her I'll come back and volunteer.
Robin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Have you been working with the Attic Outlet in the past?
I've done volunteer work on Saturdays, usually once a month or so, for the last 2 or 3 years, several years.
So, and prior to that, have you been in the workforce?
I had been working for Coca-Cola, and prior to that, I'd been at Traders Bank.
Okay. So this is a new step for you.
New direction.
New direction. Well, good for you. You know, it's such a very important thing that Attic Outlet does for this community, and a lot of the folks in this community and people that surround this community. And I just, we can all say thank you very much, and thank you for what you've done.
Thank you.
Because you've been doing this how long now?
Will be 15 years.
15 years. And how many location changes have you had?
We've been in two. We started out over close to the bowling alley on or South Anderson, and then we'd come to West Hogan in 01. We've been there 10 years.
Been there. Boy, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, does it? Man, time has flown. Well, all we can say is here at Channel 6, we appreciate what you've done, dear.
Thank you.
And anything that we can do to help you in the future, you know where we are. You're always welcome, and we will help you promote. And folks, this will be up on the community bulletin board today. If you can't remember what's going on here, it's this Friday and Saturday. Hang food on your mailbox or put it inside for the Postal Food Drive.
Thank you.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
And congratulations, Judy.
Don't tell her that.
We'll be right back after these messages, folks.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. plus free internet banking and bill pay, Bank Your Change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want, so you can bank when, where, and how you want, at our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
This is for my daddy and the troops. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what's up proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
At Charter, we're connecting military families with free webcams and the fastest, most reliable internet speeds. Get your webcam at charter.com/canyousee.
I miss you, Daddy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now from the Businessman and Sportsman Club of Coffee County, I think. No, it's probably bigger than Coffee County, isn't it?
Yeah.
You do more counties than just Coffee. To my left is Carla Bloom, who's a member of the board of the organization, and Carter Sane, who is sort of, I guess you sort of inherited the position of running this deal from your dad.
He occasionally lets me participate. Yeah, we've both been a part of it for 28 years. That it's been going. Carla was. She was 5 when this started, and I was 3.
And you were 3.
And we've both.
You know, I can believe that about Carla, but I'm not sure I believe that about you. But
I wasn't
go
born
ahead.
yet.
Yeah, because there's a lot bigger difference than that between us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But 28 years, that's how long we've been involved.
It's hard to imagine that this organization has even been around that long, but it has a great history, and I always like to hear how this organization got started.
Mm-hmm. It is unique. It was almost an accident, Jim. It started as some gentlemen around, and I use that term loosely, around the coffee shop in the mornings, and decided they wanted to put some money together, raise some money, and have a raffle. And if they made any money, they'd give away some baskets for Christmas. And they raised $16,000 that first year,
which was great at that.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
We're talking
that era.
Mid '80s here, and that was a big number. So it sort of became intoxicating to them, and they decided to do it again the next year and the next, and it's grown, and our organization has gotten a little bit more professional, not much, but a little bit more professional in its delivery of the donations that we are fortunate enough to get. So we have a very varied, field where we give people money that are in need, and it's been a success story.
I heard your dad talking last week, I think it was, at the Chamber of Commerce over in Manchester. And his dad, by the way, is Pete Sane, in case you folks don't know that. But he said, when we first started doing this, we didn't realize that what we were doing was illegal. So, but they've since corrected that, and by illegal, I guess lotteries probably weren't exactly legal, but they went on all the time.
Right. Everyone was having a raffle. Everyone was having some sort of a drawing for charity.
Right.
And we did it for about 2 or 3 years before we obtained our 501c3 status and then registered with the state. But it was a good learning experience, and as with any good deed that you try to do, it usually becomes a little more complicated than you thought it was going to be.
Sure.
And this one not only has been a little bit more in depth and required a little bit more energy, but it's helped hundreds more people than we probably ever thought it would.
Exactly.
So the payoff's been there.
And tell us a little bit about who gets help through your organization.
The recipients of the monies, that's one of the great things about this organization is that it's very broad. So we help burnout victims, cancer victims. We help a lot of children in the community. We just have the Smiles for Tomorrow program, which is a dental program for young children.
And that's something I wasn't aware of.
And that's been a huge success. We actually got a grant from the Community Foundation to help, and we matched the funds. And so any type of intensive dental, oral surgeries or care that children need is being provided through that, through this organization in conjunction with the Community Foundation. So that's we do coats and shoes and scholarships for high school students who might not be getting scholarships from other places. We help a lot of people go to Motlow, technical colleges, as well as some of the larger universities, but usually those funds are given to students who might not be getting huge amounts of scholarships from other places.
You know, that is phenomenal, and if you're a child and you have dental issues, you folks have no idea how important that is.
And it's unbelievable the number of children who go without dental care.
Right, I can imagine. What is the phone number of your organization so we can get that up on the screen while we're talking here?
Absolutely. During this fundraising season, we want folks to call us at 728-5048, or they can call me on my cell at 581-7909.
Okay.
Or mine, of course, at 212-6045.
Okay. So if you back in the control room can get at least some of those numbers up there, we'd appreciate it very much. Now, as you were telling us about the dental thing, I think there's not a lot of red tape involved in what you guys do. You guys are able to respond pretty quickly to any emergency.
That's correct. You know, we have our help number listed in the phone book. We also have a network of members, and our membership is unique in that we don't have card-carrying members. We feel like anyone that's been involved in our organization, who's donated to our organization, is a member. And so that network refers folks in need to us. Those folks oftentimes will just call the number. We'll take a request card from them and get quite a bit of detailed information. We'll vet that request and see that it is a real need.
I see.
And then we'll have 3 or 4 or 5 board members sign off on it, and we'll get the folks the money that they need.
Let's talk a little bit before we run out of time here about this year's fundraiser, because I know it's another huge event. And tell us a little bit about what you guys are going to be doing this year.
Well, of course, you know, every year we have a silent auction that we start the evening with. We have live auction and dinner. And this year, I want to be sure that we talk about our entertainment. The Ultimate Oldies that did the performance over in Manchester for a couple of weekends is actually providing our entertainment for this year.
Okay, that'll be great.
Yes, so we've been working with those folks, Mr. Harden and Fuzzy Roberts, very closely to get that organized, and they'll be there the entire evening.
Okay, tickets are how much?
Dinner tickets are $50 a seat, and it's going to be barbecue this year again.
Okay.
Mike does a fantastic job. And I have those dinner tickets. Again, that number is 212-6045. And we have raffle tickets that are either 1 for $25 or 5 for $100. $5,000 cash. Can't beat that.
And you don't necessarily have to have a dinner ticket to do the raffle.
Correct.
No. Okay. Correct.
And you don't have to have a dinner ticket to come in and participate in the silent auction either, or the live auction.
Okay.
And enjoy the music. It's pretty much an open door policy. For the dinner seating, we would ask that you go ahead and pick up a dinner ticket so that we can have a place for you to eat. But
yeah, I only have about 3 tables left.
Right. So they're about gone. And the event's coming up when?
November 5th.
November 5th. So
at the conference center in Manchester.
Okay.
It'll be a soft start at 5, and then sort of things get underway about 6, 7 dinner, 8 live auction, somewhere in that time frame.
Oh, okay. And then the Ultimate Oldies Band is coming in there at some point.
About 8:39.
Something I could identify with, right, Carter?
And they're fantastic.
I love that music. I know it makes me a little uncool, but I really enjoy it. I do.
All right, the number we had up there on the screen again was 728, what, Carter?
728-5048 or 581-7909, or catch Carla at 931-212-6045.
Okay, so if you'd like to be a part of this, this is not only a great cause, folks, but it's a fun event as well. And again, you don't have to have the dinner ticket to be part of the raffle or the silent auction. So, and it goes for a great cause. And folks, you do a great job. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you
And we encourage you folks to get out there and help us out with that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you for being here. We'll be right back in just a moment with more Live It.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good. There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Love this segment. I've had so much fun talking to Judy Skelton. Judy, I am so glad you came.
Thank you.
You are here representing the attic sale for the Women's Club, right?
Yes.
You are the chairman?
Yes.
And you have things to sell.
Right.
When is this? Saturday?
This will be Friday and Saturday. Starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Come and shop early and find all those wonderful treasures that we're going to have.
Creative shopping.
Yes.
And what it just fascinated me is the prices that you have on some of these wonderful things. And I thought the public ought to know that you are dressed in one of your $5 outfits. Is that correct?
Yes. This was the last year I purchased this for $5 at the Women's Club. We have sheets that we put out. Of course, you can't see this probably. But it says a blazer. Blazer was $5. A jacket was $5.
And you can get...
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, yes, I paid $5 for it. It's a Talbot, and it's 100% wool, and I'm proud of it.
Sure. I mean, why should you go pay $200?
Absolutely.
When you can get it for $5.
Shorts that are $1. Blue jeans are $5, and there are stacks and stacks and stacks. Tell me your size, and we'll point you in that direction.
And you can get anything you want.
Yes, as much as you want.
Do you let people try things on?
Yes, we will let you try it on.
That's great. Let's get your phone number up there. I wrote it 455-5384. If you have something to donate, was that what that was about?
Yes, please call me Thursday, and I'll be glad to bring my truck, and we'll pick it up.
You don't even have to haul it up there. You just call and give her the address.
And I'll come
I need to put that. Oh, there it is. 5384. And
thank you.
The creative shopper will pick up your stuff and haul it up to the Women's Club, which is located on
Wilson
Avenue, just as you turn, really. So it's
by the church.
By the church. It's by the Lutheran church on the left. And they have so many things.
Yes.
What time y'all starting to set up? You'll be setting up on Friday?
We set up on Thursday, and we open the door at 8 o'clock on Friday and start selling. back up a little bit and tell you a little bit about the
I wanted
Women's
to hear
Club.
about the Women's Club. What a great group of women they are.
In 1889, now I have to read because I don't remember all this, a Mrs. M.R. Campbell started a study group. A simple 5 or 6 ladies got together and studied. Many years ago, of course. In 1901, they federated this club as a woman's club.
And that was the first one, 1901.
That's the first federated club in Tullahoma. At that point, you didn't have sidewalks, didn't have a library, didn't have an art center, didn't have. Busy women created sidewalks, impressed their husbands to help, created a library. Tullahoma has a library because of these women.
That's awesome.
It is. It's awesome what they have done. One of their ideas was that women and their families needed art and education in this area.
Absolutely.
They needed a library.
And they need a science center and a performing arts center.
They needed it. It was a necessary thing. So in that year, they invited musical artists from outside this small town to come and visit and perform. You know all about this.
I do.
Okay. And so they created a library because they felt like they needed books.
And
the children needed books.
And they didn't need to have to go to Nashville or Chattanooga to find a book.
The Federated Women's Club initiated a program that involved children writing poetry and short stories. You have children from Tullahoma that have won national recognition for their poems.
I think that's wonderful.
And short stories, just because of a group of women with some forethought. It has now become a part of your educational program in the city of Tullahoma.
I know, it's wonderful.
Their poetry and short story program is really good.
In fact, it's going on
now.
Now.
That's what we do, and it takes a lot of money to keep this going.
And a lot of time.
So the attic sale supports these activities that we are involved in, and everybody goes to a yard sale. Everybody goes to an estate sale.
That's true.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for clothes for you to wear? Let's go a step further. Creative shopping is, this is a coat. This is a coat. Do you see this as a coat? This was a collar on a coat. This was some trim on a fancy dress, a real fancy dress.
And did you do this yourself?
Yes, I did this. This is creative shopping.
Cute. I love it.
This was a saucer that somebody probably broke the rest of the dishes, or like me, bought one and decided they really didn't want it and put it back out to sale. A quarter, 25 cents for this. This is a candlestick.
So you glued it on with a hot glue gun, I guess.
Glue it on. Now then, to be a creative shopper, you have to be able to copy.
And see what
I
you
heard
can do.
this lady make an entire 30-minute speech on being a creative shopper. You're only as creative as your ability to copy.
Right.
In Gatlinburg, this right
that
here.
Would be, what, $50?
$18.98. Exactly what they are. I saw them in Gatlinburg and copied them.
So you can go to this attic sale and possibly buy some of the same things.
Same thing.
Put it together, and you've got Christmas coming very soon.
25-cent napkins at almost any yard sale is a napkin. Just a napkin. 25 cents to 50 cents for a napkin.
Right.
Embroider it, have it embroidered, and it becomes $4 or $5 each. Be creative. Don't think of going to a yard. Everybody goes to a yard sale.
Well, that's true. You've got to have something in mind.
You got to have something in mind.
Have a plan.
The lady that was here before me talked
it says
about
boo.
Boo.
Happy Halloween. I love it.
You can have that.
That's cute. Well, thank you.
Okay. Make your own gifts.
That
the
is
lady
really
that was here
sweet.
about buttons. Go to this. If you needed some buttons, some pearl buttons, some shell buttons or something, you're going to find that at the attic sale.
It might be an old dress.
A blouse or a jacket or a coat.
Oh, I want to see that.
Oh,
let's talk about this.
Okay.
I wish I had the belly for it. But
Costuming. Think about going Halloween costume buying. Look at this little shimmery
gorgeous.
thing.
Yeah.
And here's the top. Now, I know your little tummy's going to show, but my goodness.
Can you tell me what that's going to cost? $5 maybe?
Sure.
About $5?
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
awesome. Lauren?
At one time it did Does it fit?
That's gorgeous.
That is very
But that was
pretty.
a belly dance outfit, right?
Yes, I would say that was. Many years ago, it might have been a prom outfit, but some schools do not allow you to show your belly.
Anymore.
So it
That's
didn't
true.
sell, and so there it is. There are always things that just don't quite make it. Be creative. Make it. Change it around.
I'm going to go home and cut up an old coat right now.
Can you sew leather?
I don't know. Probably not.
Please be a part of our attic sale. Please come and do some shopping.
Don't forget, October 21, 22, Friday, Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I'd suggest come early on Friday so you get the best deals.
Yeah,
because that's
stand
when
in line.
everything's laid
I
out.
will not open the door
Judy,
until
you're
8 o'clock.
so full of it. Thanks a lot for coming. And
Thank
we'll
you for
look
letting
forward
me
to
come.
the sale at the Women's Club on Clement Drive. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Wilson Drive.
Wilson Drive. We'll be back with more of Tullahoma Living.
This is a tree that was never chopped down to make a crutch that was never needed. By a child who never got polio. Because vaccine was never in short supply. Thanks to people whose compassion wasn't either. Over the years, Rotary Club members have helped immunize over 2 billion children against polio. Soon, the world will be polio-free. Rotary, humanity in motion.
All right, folks, we're back, and we are getting ready to have our educational segment of the show today. We are going to the University of Stanford with Dr. Lawson, and he is here with us. And I love music, but he's talking about sympathetic tone.
Yes.
That's something that I don't. Is that a minor or a major tone?
It's major, but we don't know much about it.
Okay.
Because basically
tell us.
Your sympathetic nervous system helps run your body, and the parasympathetic nervous system, and they keep all of your organs flowing and moving and in balance. But what happens with stress, that nervous system gets hyperactive, and so it ages our organs and contributes to ulcers, COPD, heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, all that stuff. So one of the early research showed that one way to lower a sympathetic tone is meditation. So recently, Stanford did a study. They were looking at what else lowers sympathetic tone. So they wanted to look at, what kind of medical interventions will bring that down. Because if you can find what brings that down, you can improve people's quality of life and their longevity. They're not going to get as sick as easy. Their immune systems are going to be stronger, so they don't get sick so easy, because increased sympathetic tone decreases your immune system, makes you more susceptible to catching things. So what happened is they did the study. They looked at medical interventions, they looked at drugs, they looked at alternative interventions, they looked at all these different things, and the only thing that they found besides meditation that lowers sympathetic tone was chiropractic adjustment. That's big.
That is big.
So it just supported what we've been saying all along. And what's interesting is study after study after study shows that chiropractic care beats drugs for back pain. It beats physical therapy for back pain. It beats all these things. I'm not saying those things aren't useful, because there are some patients where that's what's needed because they're so messed up, they're beyond adjusting. But for the most part, there was another study that was done that looked at back pain and how much it cost the medical system as a whole. And
the employment system.
Right, and what medicine can do versus chiropractic. And if they see chiropractors first, the rate at which chiropractic is successful. Yeah, showed that chiropractic, if you go with a back problem to a chiropractor first, it could save the insurance companies and Medicare and all that billions of dollars. Billions of dollars a year.
Billions is a lot
of dollars a year.
This country needs billions.
Now, you said something about saving employment.
Right.
Because, you know, another thing, some other studies were done, it shows that there's decreased workers' comp payments with chiropractic care than with medicine, because surgeries are more expensive.
Yes.
And when drugs aren't useful, that's what happens. They go to surgeries. And then the bills are always bigger on the medicine side than the chiropractic side.
Now, does this same insurance system look at chiropractic in the same light as covering that as they do medical?
Some do, some don't, but they don't pay us the same. Like if the physical therapy does ultrasound, they reimburse at a higher rate than if I do ultrasound.
Wow.
That's a good
lobbyists?
That's a good question.
They have bigger lobby than you do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably so.
Anyway, so
we need to add on to your building down there and get a bigger lobby.
What we're doing at our office now is we're contacting. So one of the things that if prevention is very important.
Yes.
So we've been talking to local businesses, and I'm doing some workshops, and so we're going to talk about how to prevent injuries in the workplace. Well, one of the businesses he said, well, they don't have so much problem with injuries in the workplace as they do with injuries at home. So they want to talk about just injury prevention altogether.
Sure.
So one of the things that can prevent injuries is to, is to handle stress before you even get to work. And so there's some workshops I'm going to be doing that addresses that issue. So I'm talking about stress globally, like the stress of improper nutrition, not enough sleep, not taking care of your back, like lifting properly, exercise, and most importantly, adjustments. Because most people don't do all those other things I said, but it's easy to come to a chiropractor and get adjusted.
Right. And
you just show up, get adjusted, and your performance goes up. Because a lot of the key athletes use chiropractors to give them the edge. Because if we're talking 1/10 of a second reaction time that speeds up after an adjustment, sure, that's a touchdown, that's a gold medal.
Yeah.
Lance Armstrong took his chiropractor every time he went to do the tour. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He
That's
said
pretty amazing.
He said that was his secret weapon. Anytime he took a spill, he was getting adjusted so that his nervous system was balanced and performed at peak. Because once you keep getting adjusted, your performance goes up, your productivity goes up. If you get injured, you're not going to be out as long. So that saves employers lots of money. So then you may not need workers' comp. If you nip it in the bud, you don't need workers' comp because the injuries aren't going to happen, so your workers' comp cases are going to go down. There's a whole list of ways to take care of yourself, and it's just really a focus on health.
Did I tell you or did I not tell you we were getting ready to get educated? This guy knows his stuff.
So if you are interested in getting me to come to your place of work or business to do some classes on nutrition and health, decreasing injuries in the workspace, stress management, chiropractic benefits, anything like that. Now, chiropractic's always in there, but
I think anybody, particularly folks that had a pretty good amount of staff. I think it would be very important and very beneficial for them.
Right.
To anybody, onesie twosies, but somebody that's got 20 people, 15, 20 people, that's your machine, and you're trying to keep your machine running. If you drop a link of chain in your motor, it doesn't run very well, and each one of those persons a link in your machine. So you need to keep them well greased, oiled, and lined up and running proper. Right?
Yes, sir. That is correct. And that's one of my goals is to improve the community education. And donate my time to do these talks so that people understand what health really is and how to keep it once you get it. But I also like to focus on how can you get your health back if you've lost it.
And understand that chiropractic has its place in your life.
Yes. We talk about the chiropractic lifestyle. Just like dental hygiene, there's spinal hygiene.
And what was that tone?
Sympathetic tone.
And you would think sympathetic tone would be good, but it's
well, sympathetic tone is, you know, it's just the tone that's there. So if it's hypertonic or hypotonic, that's not good. It needs to be balanced. So your nervous system, you know, that runs your organs, if it's hyperactive, if it's too active, it's just gonna, it's like running everywhere with your pedal on the gas. You're gonna wear out your car. Right. So we gotta pull the pedal back.
There you go.
But if you go too slow, you know,
you run over.
You block traffic and you piss everybody off.
Folks, this guy's great. Dr. Ed Lawson, right down here on Wilson Avenue at the corner. And, you know, you find him, you'll be glad you did. We'll be right back after this message.
Look around, the changes catch your eye, and you come to realize one can make a difference. Reach out, stand out, find out what it's all about. See it all, stand tall, be there to catch them when they fall.
Since 1915, Kiwanis International has touched millions of lives through thousands of service programs for children around the world. When you help one child, you help the world.
Life is bigger than just one, but one can make a difference.
Well, that's a lot of warning. I'm Lauren Foster. Thanks for joining us on Just Plain Living. And I am here with Aaron and Benjamin from Venturing Crew 1111. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Thanks for being with us, Aaron, Benjamin.
Thank you for having us.
Tell me what Venturing Crew 1111 is.
Well, we are a branch of Boy Scouts, only for an older audience, ages 14 through 20, and we're co-ed, actually. And we do a lot of, our crew specifically focuses on high adventure things like mountain biking, hiking, rappelling. We did something just recently where we went to something called Latimer High Adventure Reservation, which is just outside of Spencer near Fall Creek Falls, and we had a day packed full of rappelling, mountain biking, skeet shooting. We did something called tug of war kayaking, where you pull the kayak and you try to play tug of war with those things like that. Learned a lot about gun safety, and that's what venturing is about, you know. But we also try to do service projects and things like that that'll help the community.
Okay, so like cleaning up after the storms and that kind of community thing?
Yeah, well, we actually have one coming up this November, I suppose, where we're cleaning up a prayer garden that's it's in Tullahoma. It's at a Methodist church, I believe. And there's a prayer garden out there, and it's a little overgrown. It hasn't had a lot of attention, so we asked the church if they would mind if we came and cleaned it up, and they said they'd very much appreciate that. So we're going to be doing things like that.
Very nice. So where do you get all the supplies and tools and things that you need for a job like that?
Mostly ice from people in the crew is where we're going to get them. We'll just get people to donate them and stuff like that.
And how do we join the Venturing Crew? And it now, like, is 1111 like your troop number? Like in Boy Scouts, you know, 3283.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, like they call it a crew in venturing, just like to distinguish it from the Boy Scouts. But how you would join if you were interested in joining would be our crew specifically meets every second and fourth Wednesday. No, I'm sorry. Did I say? It is Wednesday. Second and fourth Wednesday at the Celtic Cup Coffee House in Tullahoma. We meet in the upstairs room and everything, and we meet 4:15 to 5:45 p.m. So if someone were interested in joining that, they could just come by there anytime. So
is there a website or a phone number where people can get more information about?
Well, we have a website, but it's not complete. It's not up and running yet. We have a Facebook page that you can
you can
look
just search
at.
Venturing Crew on Facebook and
Venturing Crew 1111. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so is 1111 for a certain area, or are there how many venturing crews are there in the Middle Tennessee area, for instance?
Well, I'm not exactly sure how many there are. I don't know the exact number, but it's we have one member over in East Tennessee.
We have a member who is very 3.5 hours away from us. She joined because it's my girlfriend, and she wanted to be in the group. Yeah, she wanted to be in the group with us, but she's 3.5 hours away. And to do some of the things with us, she had to actually be a part of the crew. So she joined so that when we do some of these things, she can join. So there's really not any area specifically that you have to be in, but we are in the Middle Tennessee district. We're in we represent a certain area, but there's not really a limitation like you have to be in that area to
so
as far as you're willing to drive.
Over here twice a month for your meeting on Wednesday nights.
No, we'll just fill her in on all the stuff. So.
Gotcha, but she's allowed to participate in your projects and things. Okay?
Yeah, this Wednesday we're doing a fundraiser. A guy named Harold Camping.
Not Wednesday, Aaron. Friday.
This Friday.
Friday.
Thank you for that. This Friday we're having a fundraiser because there is one of our ventures had this idea. A guy named Harold Camping had predicted the end of the world a few months ago, and he was wrong about it. That was my prediction. So he changed the date to October 21st, and we decided we were going to have a fundraiser on that day. So it's an end of the world fundraiser.
End of the world fundraiser.
We found out that on that same day, THS is having a home game. So we decided that we were going to predict it's Tullahoma Wildcats versus the Warren County Pioneers.
Yeah.
So we predicted it would be an end of the world for the Warren County Pioneers. That was our idea.
Okay.
So you can come to the Celtic Cup. They have a few tickets there. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's $8 for an adult and $4 for a child.
And how do you classify child?
Child is 12 and under. So it's cheaper if you buy a ticket. If you walk in, it's $10 for an adult and $5 for a child. We're going to have some games set up that you can win prizes for.
Tell me where? We're going to be out of town.
It's at Christ Community Church, 716 West Side Drive.
Christ Community Church, 716 West Side Drive, on Friday night.
On Friday, October 21st.
At what time?
4 p.m. to
4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, 4 o'clock on the 21st at, tell me one more time.
Christ Community Church.
Christ Community Church.
716 West Side Drive.
It's the end of the world for the Warren County Pioneers Party. Brought to you by Venturing Crew, and this is to raise money for your future projects. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being with us. This sounds like really great, good, clean fun. Staying out of trouble, right?
Yes.
You come back and join us again.
Thank you for having us.
All right. And you stay with us. We're going to be back with more Just Plain Living right after this.
Welcome to the Rose Bowl. The team's taking the field. Not many people. Oh, my. He missed. Off to a rough start here. Somebody wants to go home. What's he doing?
If you're not watching college football in HD, you're watching Pee Wee TV. Graduate to Charter TV in HD and let it all in.
All right, folks, we're back again. You thought you was going to get rid of us? Not yet. We're still here, and we have more good information to bring you. I'm sitting here right now with Gary Johnson from the Cedar Lane Church of Christ. And
how you doing, John?
Very good, buddy. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
You have a new program over there. Well, it's not brand new, but you're getting ready to have a open house and introduce people a little bit more to it.
Well, we're glad to announce that we have opened up an affiliate office of Agape Counseling. Agape is a Nashville-based, Christian-based counseling service. And we have an affiliate office at Cedar Lane now where we try to help people who hurt, people who are going through crisis.
And I tell you what, there's a lot of people in a lot of tough situations right now.
There are, John.
With the economy the way it is,
right.
and things that are going on in our society and in our country, I'm sure this is I'm sure you're busy.
We are busy. Our office has been open since May, and we've had an interim counselor there. And when we started last month, I'm the full-time counselor there.
Mm-hmm.
We try to reach out to families who are hurting. We have people come to see us for pre-marriage counseling, people who come to see us for depression, people who have family issues, parenting issues, couple issues. We have a lot of blended families that come in. We see people from the age of 3 all the way to people your age.
I hope some older than me.
And that we do.
I'm a young whippersnapper.
That you are. But we reach out a wide range of people, wide range of topics, and it's been a good success. People are very receptive to it. We are a faith-based counseling, which means we can talk about the Bible, and we can encourage, and we can pray with people. And that's a little bit different than what you find in some of the secular businesses.
What about a phone number where somebody can get in touch with you?
Phone number, you can call 393-5969.
Okay.
And that'll get you to our office. Right now, our office is open on Tuesdays from 10:30 to 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens if you call that number on a day other than Tuesday, you'll leave a voicemail.
Okay.
It's a confidential voicemail. And Militia Berridge, our office coordinator, will get back with you within 48 hours. And she will schedule an appointment and get you in to see us.
Okay, now when is the open house?
The open house, October the 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a come and go, meet and greet. We're going to be serving some light refreshments. And if you want to come, we ask that you try to RSVP. Okay. One of the things that we're trying to target are local businesses and church groups. We have what we call an employee assistance program or a counseling assistance program. And
Right.
what we can do, we can enter into a partnership with a business or a church, and we can go ahead and arrange a preset fee for its members or its employees to come.
Right.
And you can share that cost with the person that comes. If the fee is $60 and we ask the client can pay $10 and the church or business can pay $50, or you can go half and half.
Right.
So we have those things as well. Being an affiliate office, it gives us an opportunity to use all the services of Agape.
Right.
And Agape is well known for its adoption and foster care program. If our office here at Cedar Lane doesn't have the specific counseling or psychological needs that you have, you can use any of the other Agape offices, even the main office out of Nashville.
Right.
So that EAP and CAP is a very good program that we try to use.
Okay. All right. Now, first time I heard this word, I didn't know what it meant, and I would imagine there are people out there who don't know what it means.
Okay.
What does the word agape mean?
Agape means unconditional love. And what we try to do when somebody comes to us hurting, we are not in the judging business, we're in the helping business.
There
and
you
we want
go.
to ease their pain. Okay, and that's what it's all about.
What's that phone number?
393-5969. Name's Gary Johnson. We'd love to have you come see us at the Agape Center, the Cedar Lane Counseling Center at the Church of Christ Cedar Lane, 1200 Cedar Lane. We'd love to have you at the open house October 25th, 6 to 8. Come and meet us.
Unconditional love. What else could you need?
That's right.
We'll be right back.
Hold on. You gotta hear this. I know. How'd I get so lucky?
Every call can be great when you're saving 35% or more. Join the millions who are already saving with Charter Phone.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
All right, folks, we're back, and we're with the king of the rocks right here.
All right, and we're all lusting
Jim Woodard
stones.
on his way to Antwerp.
Heading off again. It's my 22nd consecutive year to go to Antwerp,
Wow.
Belgium.
Oh,
The
that's
diamond capital of the world.
So envious. He used to always come back, and we probably still do come back and bring Belgian chocolates for a chamber meeting.
You know what? We are having our chamber coffee, which is always the last
Kickoff,
Tuesday, and it's the kickoff of the Christmas season. It's the kickoff of going to
Great
Belgium.
time to come in and check out everything at Woodard's Diamond Showcase.
Well, you know, I did bring in some baubles, but Belgium is the largest importer-exporter of diamonds in the world. 80% of all the rough-cut diamonds come through Antwerp. 50% of all the polished diamonds come through Antwerp. So you can't have a polished diamond until you have the rough to begin with. You always heard that, oh, I'm a diamond in the rough?
Right, and so that's it.
80% of all the rough-cut stones come through Antwerp, and then 50% of them, as they are polished, come through Antwerp. So it's an interesting story, and 3 minutes won't allow us to tell it all.
No.
But I am going, and if any of your listening audience and watching audience would like to come contact me. We do buy a lot of our diamonds. Customers will come to me and say, Jim, I've been looking for, I want you to hand select me one.
This.
Plus they trust you.
Plus they know I've been around a long time, so they get what they pay for and more. You know, some of our competitors on the radio talk about stuff, and we want to be your friend in the diamond business and this, and this. But you know what? We've been living here. We've been doing this. John, I can't imagine. I've been in that mall now for, goodness gracious, since 1986. Yep. In that mall that we've had. So again, October's a great time for Woodard's Diamond Showroom. We've got our chamber coffee. We're leaving for Belgium. We've got the Great Wall of Pandora, which, you know, I've been here talked about Pandora before. We've added a whole new wall of Pandora there. So again, your listening audience might want to come by and just look also at the Pandora experience.
And the hours of your business is 10 till?
Yes, ma'am. We're open from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. every day, Monday through Saturday, closed on Sunday. Except for the holiday hours of Black Friday coming up. Inside Northgate Mall, where we've got some new stores, by the way, which is great, and some neat places going on, neat things happening.
Well, before we get through with this right here, I want to say thank you to Jim Woodard and his partners and all of the folks who have involved themselves in financially and personally and work-wise in the mall.
Thank you.
And in the shopping center out there. The new Dunham's is opened up.
Great brand.
You know, these guys are the guys, you talk about economic development, these guys are the guys who have kept things going in this town. And we appreciate your obligation financially.
And they also support the arts.
And they also support the arts.
Yes, they do.
Well, it's an honor to do so, and thank you for saying it. I appreciate it very much.
We appreciate you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Good
Thank
luck.
you, John. Thank you.
Have fun in Antwerp.
Oh, I'm going to try.
What we're going to do right now is we're going to have one of our buddies say something to you, and when he does, you realize that when he says this is not the end of the story, that for him it's not the end of the story. He's gone on, and we'll check him out when we get there. Okay?
Here, here.
See ya.
I guess it's about time that I said my usual thing, and Mr. Couch started this. This is not the end of the story. There's a lot more to tell.